Hey guys, guess what? We have got more Proline tires up for grabs. So write me a comment why you need these tires. You got new rigs, you're building old rigs, you're changing old rigs, your tires are tired, or you just need to upgrade your tires. Write me a comment, guys. The guys who write me a comment, I will put you guys in the final draw and let's see who wins the final prize. Now let's get back into today's video. So I mangled the Jeep quite badly, but never mind. I've got some homemade rock sliders. Dirtheads for the win! So most of the rock sliders, they tuck in underneath the chassis, and you have these chassis points. There are 3 of them. So we're going to loosen them, and the plate or the rock slider will actually tuck in underneath there. Jeez, Dirthead work is really hard. Okay, it's coming loose. So with using the jack, I've just jacked up the Jeep a little bit, and you can see we've got a perfect gap for the rock slider to fit into, just to slide in underneath there so I can mark it properly and then cut it to size. So I've loosened the plastics, and as you can see on the floor here, the Jeep does need a little bit of TLC. Also moving this away, you can see what's actually missing on the Jeep. So it's in desperate need of some TLC, and I think the rock slider will just give it that little bit of protection, and maybe we can even put a sealer in from the inside so that no water gets to that area. So just balancing the rock slider. Okay, I have got a little bit of a distance behind it so I can actually grab it and pull it back out, so it's not all the way flush, but it is enough for me to actually mark my fender flares, so I can do a cutout and also kind of the listening place. I actually don't know if I will cut it out all the way. I think I'm actually going to cut it out till here so that this lip sits over and this one will just sit on top of the rock slider. That's looking much better. So the cutout is in the front section here. This tucks in exactly in its original position, so there's no difference in height, and in the rear it's the same story. You just move this away and you can see that lip at the bottom just tucks in perfectly. Okay, so I finished my fabrication. I have lifted up the Jeep body a little bit, and let's slide this in here. It's not a bad fit, just for that. This thing seems to be shorter because my cut is in line with the body. Let's look at it on the other side quickly. That's a bit irritating. Yeah, here's my line. this goes up to the line, and on the other side it doesn't. That's a bit, well, just prove your point. You should actually just measure twice, right? But doesn't matter. I'm going to put that little plastic extension on here, so you won't even see it, I hope. Yeah, kind of like that. Exactly. Perfect. Aha. Okay. Suck it, dust dogs. Not gonna lie to you, man. This fabrication stuff, this is hard work, man. So let me quickly explain my madness. In the center, I have a chassis point which is going to bolt onto the bottom of the rock slider. I have tapered the front and the back of the rock slider because underneath there's just a couple of things where the rock slider was actually getting in the way. So from underneath, I will only have one point that holds the rock slider in place, and the rest of the bolts are going to be going through the top of the body. Let me just quickly pan in underneath. I have the perfect gap, and I am holding it up with one of my screwdrivers. So the rock slider is going to slide in between there. And the same thing on this side. Okay, underneath here everything is looking pretty tucked in. So I'm just gonna tighten up my chassis bolts a little bit. Not all the way. Okay, everything is tucked in nicely. All right, time to drill my first hole and find the placement of the bolt. Thing is, I need to put a nut behind here, so I need to be able to get in from behind. There's no way I can get in from behind here. The only place is up here, and kind of where this curve starts is an area where I could actually drill a hole and get a tool in behind here. A little bit less. Let's read what that says. It's rusted so much I don't even know. Well, let me tighten it and I can just place my first mark. Then these little drills, they have a little pin in them. What this pin does, it actually guides the drill. So I've placed my mark with my caliber, kind of at that point. Yes, that's all correct. Now what you do is you take the pin and you just give it one smack. There you go. And that prevents the drill from running away. First I'm going to drill a pilot hole with a smaller drill. Now the inside of the washer hole is too small for the bolt. So I'm going to be taking the drill. This drill does not bite. So you can actually just drill it without having that bite where it rips out of the pliers. Yeah, that was it already. Clean it up from the other side, and there we go. And for the next bolt, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to be using the bottom of this curve as my guiding point because there is nothing behind there. So I'm moving just down with my finger there where it becomes straight, marking it. Haven't changed my caliber. Caliber is still the same. Then taking my pin and marking it. Just one smack, that's all it needs. And the same thing, first the pilot hole. So I've got two guiding bolts in there and going to release the jack so that I can tighten the chassis points again. So now the rock slider is nice and secure. I'm going to place one more hole in the center of these two, and the way this looks, I might be able to get another hole either under the J or to make it a little bit simpler under the first E of the Jeep. That way I can get my tools in behind, because now seeing that the rock slider has closed all of this in, I actually cannot get to that. So it's either going to be under the J or under the first E. Even drilling holes is hard work. And the same thing on the other side. Tell you, this is not fun yet. This work is hard, and I'm just doing rock sliders. If I were doing axles and stuff, I'd be, I don't know, it'd take me a week. I'm finally done. Rock sliders are looking good. The only thing I'm a little bit peed off about is that this mud guard is a little bit shorter on this side, but looking from underneath, it tucks in very nicely, chamfers off to both sides, giving me enough space and not getting in the way of any cables, brake lines, etc. Now, let me show you all the tools I needed for this job. And here are all the tools that I needed for the job. Obviously the grinder is missing, but these are a lot more tools than I thought I would have needed. I went through about 10 grinding discs to fabricate the shape of the rock sliders and get them to fit properly. We're burning daylight, let's go rock crawling. Can't go with you sitting here. Finally got the cat out of my car. Let's do some rock crawling. Okay, let's line up to get up to our course. Okay, let's get the TRX4 ready. Wow. Here we go. So let's do a quick run on our last setup on the trail. Haven't been working on it all week though, but I haven't been driving it with the TRX4. So let's get some practice in. And let's find the line that we need to complete the circuit. Okay. See, this is a new course, difficulty. Got difficulty written all over it. Now go backwards. Now go right. There we go. Oh, shucks, shucks, shucks. No, okay. Get back on the wheels, dude. Okay, try that again. Or actually keep trying. Get the car. Oh, yeah, almost had it, almost lost it there. I mean, there we go. Perfect. That is going to be so cool if we do time trails to see who the winner of the tires are. Because it's not going to be easy. I'll tell you that now. That's not a good line. That's not a good line. Always falling over to the left. Oh, and to the right. Yeah, just need to concentrate a bit and it is possible. Okay, that's kind of where it ends. Okay guys, swinging over to the Jeep, coming on to the other side. Stepping in thorns, obviously not good. So hopefully these are going to keep the car a little bit safer. But in total, I think the rock sliders are a win. So next week we're going to get the chainsaw out and start plowing our way through this part of the jungle over here. So that's it from me for this week, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, we've got the Tyre giveaway coming up. So subscribe to the channel, write me on what cars and what rigs you're building. If you're building Jeeps, if you're building trucks, it doesn't matter. As long as you got a rig, you're building something, or if you just need tires, that is not a problem. And we shall see you guys next week. Cheers, bye.